If you're eating clean, working out, doing everything you've been told is right, and you're still waking up at 3 a.m. and still holding weight right around your midsection, still feeling wired and exhausted at the same time, this video is going to explain why. I'm Dr. Rosemarie. I'm a doctor of health psychology and a cortisol specialist. And today you're going to hear what most diet advice misses. You may not need more discipline. You may need different signals. And the 5 foods I'm walking you through today are going to send your body the right signals that it needs so that it can lower cortisol and shift you out of fat storage mode. Finally start working with you instead of against you. Let's get into it. Number 5, avocado. Avocado is a whole food that's rich in healthy monounsaturated fats, fiber, potassium, and magnesium. But what makes it really powerful for you and for cortisol is how it affects your blood sugar. Here's the signs that most people skip. Blood sugar instability is a physiological stressor. When your blood sugar spikes and then crashes, your body reads that as an emergency, and cortisol shows up to manage it. That is why you feel shaky and anxious sometimes, and maybe hungry before eating, and maybe you just need coffee to function. That's not weakness. That's actually your biology. Now, every time cortisol surges to rescue blood sugar, it is also signaling your body to store fat, particularly visceral fat in the abdomen. After menopause, estrogen no longer buffers cortisol, so you get the full force of cortisol. And avocado, with its combination of fat and fiber and magnesium, helps to smooth out some of those spikes. This way, you have less fat storage signals and stable energy throughout the day. If you've spent years being afraid of fat, I want to gently challenge that, because your body doesn't need less fat. It needs the right fat, starting with half an avocado at a meal. One of the simplest ways to stabilize cortisol. Download my How to Calm Cortisol Guide. I've linked it in this video's description. Number 4, almonds and pistachio. Now, have you ever been bone tired and your brain just simply refuses to shut off at night? Your mind just keeps running on fast forward. Almonds and pistachio are what I call nervous system foods. They have magnesium, vitamin E, and vitamin B6. These are the nutrients that support the production of GABA. This is a neurotransmitter that calms your body down. Think of GABA as the brakes on your brain, so that when you're under stress and your menopause cycle, for example, accelerates that stress, GABA helps to calm things down. Your nervous system is going to stay in a low-grade alarm state. And sleep, which becomes shallow when cortisol is high, will start to right itself. Chronically elevated nighttime cortisol promotes fat storage. And so in the middle of the night, cortisol spikes aren't just about ruining your sleep, it's directly working against your metabolism. Now, a small handful of almonds or pistachios in the afternoon or evening sends a different signal. The brakes are working, you're safe, you can wind down. This is not a dramatic intervention, but it's a quiet one. And sometimes quiet is exactly what an overstimulated nervous system needs. If you're dealing with racing thoughts at night, start here before you try anything else. Let's go to number 3, lentils with olive oil. Now, this one surprises almost every woman I work with, because somewhere along the way, carbohydrates became the enemy, and that fear may actually be making your cortisol worse. Lentils are a slow digesting, high fiber legume that provides a steady, sustained release of glucose. Now, when you pair the lentils with olive oil, a source of anti-inflammatory polyphenols and healthy fat, they become one of the most cortisol stabilizing meals you can eat. Here's something that changes everything for a lot of women. That 3 a.m. wake up may not be anxiousness. It may be biology. When blood sugar drops too low during the night, cortisol rises to bring it back up. That cortisol surge is what wakes you up. Then your brain starts generating anxious thoughts about your weight, your health, your money. You assume anxiousness is the cause, but often the biology came first. Women who are undereating, skipping meals, living on coffee, or following aggressive low-carb protocols are oftentimes triggering these nighttime cortisol surges. The body interprets food scarcity as a threat, and a body under threat holds on to fat, especially in the midsection. Lentils with olive oil at dinner provides the steady blood sugar your body needs to stay calm at night, which means lower cortisol, better sleep quality, and less fat storage in the morning. Your body is not resisting you. It really is trying to protect you and give you a steady fuel it needs. It stops treating nighttime like a crisis. That's when sleep deepens and cortisol normalizes. And then the metabolic changes that you want to see are possible. Number 2, kiwi. Kiwi with almond butter. This combination stopped me in my tracks when I first encountered the research because it does something very specific that almost no other food pairing accomplishes. Kiwi is one of the rare whole foods that contains natural triggers for both serotonin and melatonin. Paired with almond butter, which provides magnesium and healthy fat, this combination actively supports sleep onset and overnight blood sugar stability at the same time. Sleep is not passive recovery. During sleep, your body performs a lot of different functions, including resetting your cortisol rhythm. When sleep is disrupted, your cortisol rhythm breaks down, and you end up with elevated morning cortisol, cravings, increase in appetite, and just feeling tired and exhausted all day. 2 kiwis with a tablespoon of almond butter as an evening snack, that's the intervention. Simple, specific, and supported by research. After menopause, your body becomes less forgiving of the habits it once tolerated. Skipping sleep isn't just about feeling tired anymore. It's directly connected to cortisol dysregulation and fat storage. This one small habit can start shifting that cycle tonight. Download my How to Calm Cortisol guide in this video's description. Number 1, dark chocolate. I saved this for last because most women genuinely don't expect to hear it, and I think the reason it works goes deeper than nutrition. We're talking about real dark chocolate, 70 to 85% cacao, not a candy bar, not a chocolate-flavored protein bar, pure, minimally processed dark chocolate that retains its full polyphenol content. Dark chocolate is rich in magnesium and a specific class of plant compounds called flavonoids. Research published in peer-reviewed journals has shown that these flavonoids may directly reduce cortisol levels and decrease oxidative stress, both of which contribute to the cortisol fat storage cycle that we're talking about. But here's a deeper lesson I want you to take from this. So many women come to me. They're convinced that healing their hormones requires more restriction, more deprivation, more punishment, more willpower. And I understand that belief because I held it for years too. What I know now is that the nervous system does not heal through punishment. It heals through safety. And when your body receives consistent signals that there is no emergency through food that nourishes instead of depletes, then your cortisol starts to settle. Metabolism starts to shift, and that stubborn belly fat finally starts responding. Dark chocolate on this list isn't just about magnesium. It's about relearning that supporting your body is not indulgence, it's medicine. 1 to 2 squares of 70 to 85% dark chocolate is not a cheat. It's a cortisol-lowering, antioxidant-rich, nervous system supporting intervention that also just happens to taste like something you deserve. Give yourself permission to eat like someone who is healing, not punishing. Every single food on this list works through the same underlying mechanism. It tells your nervous system that you're safe. And when your body stops receiving emergency signals, cortisol can finally do what it was designed to do, to rise in the morning, to wake you up, and to taper off during the day, and to fall at night so you can sleep and recover and heal. Now, you've been trying to force your body into compliance for a very long time. Start speaking your body's language instead and watch what happens. If this video gave you a new way of thinking about cortisol and your body, drop a comment below and tell me which food surprised you the most. I read every single one, so I want to know. If you want to go deeper on the science of cortisol and fat storage, the next video is right here. Now that you know about the top 5 foods that lower cortisol naturally and burn fat, you might be wanting to learn 11 belly fat burning foods I got all wrong until I became a cortisol specialist. But how do you do that? Well, it all starts by watching this video next here, because when you pair what you just learned with what's in this video, it's way more powerful. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.